we have here is a prototype of the arm that you are going to be building soon. This arm has 4 movements or 4 degrees of freedom. The first degree of freedom gives the arm the ability to turn about its own axis, much like the waist of a human being. For example, if I press this orange syringe, this syringe here gets filled up and provides a circular motion to the arm which is attached to this base. Let's see how this works. Now, the second motion is much like the shoulder of the human being. This motion provides a lift to the hydraulic arm, allowing it to extend to different heights. Let's see how this works. The third motion that we will be providing to the robotic arm is the extension of the robotic arm. This is much like the third joint or the elbow of a human being and will be providing the arm the ability to reach out to grab objects. Let's see how this works. Fourthly, we will be providing the arm the ability to grip objects. This is much like a human being's fingers, and this is attached to the last syringe on my control box. Now that you are familiarized with the design of the hydraulic robotic arm, let us look at some of the specifications of the hydraulic robotic arm. Firstly, each of the syringes here on the control box are 20 ml in capacity, while each of the syringes in the robot are 10 ml in capacity. This implies that if I press this syringe halfway through its maximum length, this syringe is moved through its full length. Hence, it gives me the ability to convert pressure into distance. Same goes for all other movements as well. If I use the extender and press the 20 ml syringe halfway through its full length, the extension happens through the full length of the 10 ml syringe. And hence, in this way, by moving my hand a short distance and applying a greater force on the 20 ml syringe, I am able to move the robotic arm a larger distance. These are the specifications of the hydraulic robotic arm. Now let us have a look as to how the arm performs in action. So here today we have an assignment for our hydraulic robotic arm. The arm is supposed to pick up this box here and place it on the X mark. Let us see how the arm performs using all these degrees of freedom that we have given it. First, the arm has already been lifted to a certain height. Next, we'll open the gripper of the arm to enable it to pick up the object. Thirdly, we'll bring the arm back to the height that it requires to pick up the object. Now, the fourth motion we'll be providing to the arm is to close the gripper so that it can grip the object. Fifthly, we lift the arm back up to lift the object very slightly, and we'll move the arm all the way around to the X mark. But now we notice that the arm has fallen a little short of the X mark that is given. Hence, we use the extension function of the arm and extend the arm further until it reaches the X mark. And now, by getting the arm lower, we allow it to place the box on the X mark. Now we open our arm and there you have it. The arm has performed the assignment admirably. And this, my friends, is how a robotic arm functions. So now I will be attaching the base to the lift mechanism. And to do this, we need 2 screws to hold the base together, one from the bottom and one from the top. So let's just get that done. Yes, this is where the screw lies, and we will get it attached. That does that, and the next screw that will go in will be from the top towards the bottom. Be careful with this part, as this part is very tricky. You should not be hurting your hands doing this. And so this attaches our lift mechanism to our base. Now what I will do is finish the housing for the syringes. And now we are almost 80% into the assembly of the robot. So if you have gotten this far, you should be able to get your arm all the way through. And that is 4. So at this stage, we are ready to assemble our whole robot. From here, I take my lift mechanism and assemble it into my base by aligning the syringes with the holes and pushing until they are tightly sitting in the holes which have been provided for the syringes. So this is how I assemble my lift mechanism, number 1. So the lift mechanism has been assembled. Now from here on, my guide rails will get assembled, and along with my extension mechanism. So let's just make sure it's all in line before we start, because we don't want anything to break. And there you have this mechanism almost done. There it is. And your arm is almost ready for action. The last step is to assemble it on the base, and this part of the disc goes into the part of the base which has been provided for it. So the cam is done for now. The return mechanism has to be attached on the syringe provided on the base. There is a bolt, an extra bolt. So all you do is turn your syringe around, place the return mechanism, and tighten the bolt on the underside of the metal plate given. That does that. Once you turn your syringe back and place it in the hole, your robot's done. Oh wait, we are missing something, aren't we? We are missing a control box. Now, I have for you a control box that is already pre-made. This control box has syringes of 4 colors. These 2 blue syringes are for the lift mechanisms. The orange is for the return mechanism, the green is for the extension mechanism, and the yellow is for the gripper mechanism. So all we have to do now is connect the right tubes to the right syringes, and then our arm will be complete. So now what I am doing here is connecting the syringes very carefully to the tubing which has been provided. Don't worry, nothing is going to break. And so since my gripper has been finished, I'll now move on to my return mechanism. Right, so this has been tightened for the return mechanism. Next I take the green tube and attach it to my extension mechanism. So that's attached. And then I take my yellow tube and attach it to my gripper mechanism. Now that's attached as well. So now we are ready to run our hydraulic robotic arm. Let's see how well it works. First, let's check out the lift. Lift seems to be working. That comes back down. Lift is working. Let us check the return mechanism to see whether the arm is turning. The return mechanism works as well. Next, let us check the extension mechanism. That works as well. And last, let us check the gripper mechanism. Well, the gripper is working as well. So here you have it, a completely assembled hydraulic robotic arm from scratch. So this is the control box that we have. These two syringes are for the lift mechanism. This is for the return mechanism, the orange syringe. The green is for the extension mechanism and the yellow is for the gripper mechanism. With this, we have completed our control box and our robot. So here you have the tutorial on how to completely assemble your own hydraulic robotic arm.